Okay, thank you. So, to the person that asked the question the other time, I will just I'll just take all of this out. So, I said to make our visualization more appealing, we can now bring in our item. Don't forget, the item is housing category and subcategory. It is housing category and subcategory. So when you move this item, you are simply moving category and subcategory. So if you move the item, for example, let's say we want to give our visualization color, and we say we'll put it on color. We can see color here, here. You drag and drop it on color. It would simply give each of those categories different colors. So now, when we now decide to break it down from the column area, if we break it down to say, let's see the subcategory, it maintains the color. Then, if we now say, okay, what is their different sales amount? What is their different sales amount? That is where we have label. Labeling simply means whatever you put in the label, it will label the visualization. So once I move my sales to label, for example, it will simply label the items, right? And I said, if we want to see or know the different sales amounts and the profit amount of each of those sales, we will now move the item we want to add to our tooltip into detail. Now, this is detail, this is tooltip. Now, this is simply our tooltip. We would see that the tooltip is simply showing us whenever we move our cursor to any of the bar, it simply shows us the category name, the subcategory name, and the sales amount. So if I close up the category now and I bring my cursor to the technology bar, it will only show me the category and the sales. But if I want to add profit into this tooltip now, not into the visualization, into the tooltip, not into the visualization, then I can now decide to bring in my profit, for example, into detail. If I drop it in my detail, then it is automatically in my tooltip. So once I move my cursor to any of the bar, it will show me the profit amount and the sales amount of those items in their categories. And if I now decide to further break it down and bring my cursor to any of these items, it shows us the category, the subcategory, the profit amount, and the sales amount. So this way, we can simply know which of the item is making the highest sales, is making the highest profit, is making the lowest sales, is making the lowest profit this way, right? This way, we can simply know what's up, what is going in our business in terms of profits and sales. Now, the previous week, we decided to format this visualization. I won't do much of formatting because I want to go to the last thing before we call it a day so that we can learn something new tonight. So what we did was for us to format anything in our visualization, we can bring our cursor anywhere and right click on the cursor on the Canva. We would see format. If you click on format, I told us that you would see something like field here. This field simply means it will show us all the things we have in our visualization. It's simply asking us, what do you want to format? Do you want to format the category? Do you want to format the profits? Do you want to format the sales? Now, I want to format the sales, for example. I can select the sales. Once I select the sales, it shows me the axis and the pane. Now, automatically, the font of the item or the field I want to format will be the very first thing. If I say, okay, let me change my font. Let me change my font to to TABLEAU semi-bold, for example, we would see that the font is showing little by little, and I change it to a darker shade of black, and I increase the font size to what it is, and I say okay, but I don't want to have 742,000. I'm not interested in that. Then I can now come to numbers, because there is number in the visualization. Come to numbers. Now here, we do not need any of this except for currency custom. If you select currency custom, you will see that it will have 2 decimal places and all of that. The first thing you want to do is change decimal places to 0. Leave every other thing the way they are, but our display unit, you can select it, because the sales amount is in thousands. I want them in Ks. If they're in millions, I want them in Ms. If they're in billions, and so on and so forth. I want it in Ks, and I select thousands. We'll see that automatically changes to 836K. And mind you, I'm using dollar sign. If you're in the UK, you can use your pound sign. If you're anywhere else, you can use your sign, and you can as well let it be on the prefix or the suffix, depending on you. But I'm leaving my dollar sign in the prefix or on the prefix side, so that it will be right at the front. So once I might have done this, I just say, okay, I've visualized it. So even if I now come to close my format pane, and I say, okay, let me expand this into the subcategory, the visualization would have taken effect. You would see that even in our tooltip, we can see that our sales is 224K. So this way we have simply formatted the sales amount. And I told us to name this sheet as, we'll come to where the sheet is, where we have sheet 2, and just double click on it. I want to name it sales by category. We are naming it from below, and it will take effect above. And I click enter, and automatically it takes effect. It takes effect. Now this is where we simply stopped last week. Now the next thing, then I asked us to visualize profit by category. Profit by category. Now we'll be doing that together to round up tonight. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to open a new sheet, a new workbook, a new sheet inside the same workbook. So we would see something that looks like a 4-shaped square, that is a dashboard. We'll see something that looks like, that has a plus and some straight lines. That is a workbook, or a new worksheet. A new worksheet. That's correct. That's way, a new worksheet. So let's open a new worksheet and say okay. So here now we have a new worksheet. Now this is where it becomes easy. It becomes easy because we have already done some works from the beginning of our visualization and all that. So we just have to continue visualizing. Yes, I know I took up the names last week. I know I took up the names. I don't want to go into all the details, into all that, because we'll still be doing them in the subsequent visualization. Because if I do all of that here now, I don't want to waste our time. But we can simply take up the names that way. That way. So let's go back to our new sheet. Now we want to visualize our profits by category. Just as we have visualized our sales by category, we'll be doing the same thing. Just as we visualized our sales by category. The first thing we want to do is bring in our sales, our profit rather. Bring our profit to rows and to columns. We just simply want to see profit, profit, profit. Now, we will see that we have these two ascending and descending button here. It is a sort button. So if I want to sort it from highest to lowest, if I want to sort it from lowest to highest, I would use these two buttons. And if I want to swap the rows for the columns, if I want to swap the columns for the rows, I would use this button. For example, let me say I want to swap the category for profit. I would say, okay, swap. It will swap it just like this. But I do not need this type of swapping because my visualization is best like this. So I can swap this way, swap columns for rows this way, and I can unswap it. I can sort the visualization as from descending mode from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest. Either ways, but I would love them to be from highest to lowest because it is profit. So now the first thing we want to remove this our x-axis as usual. We show header, we remove it like we used to. Now, can somebody unmute and tell me what else can we do on this visualization? What else can we do on this visualization based on what we did in our sales by category visualization? What else can we do in this visualization?
You can format the color.
What?
You can click on the color and format the color.
Okay, we can format the color. Okay, yes. Another person. Any other person?
You
Yes,
can
the labels. Sorry.
You can
Someone
label.
wanted to.
Okay. Any other person?
the font as well.
Okay, that's formatting. Okay, all you have said is correct. All you have said is correct. Somebody said we can format the color. I can bring in my. There is something I'm expecting somebody to say that nobody
We
has said.
can introduce sales in the tooltip.
Yes, we can do that. There is another thing I'm expecting somebody to talk about that nobody has.
How about if you show the subcategory? So
Yeah, we can show the subcategories. Yes, we can show the subcategory. Somebody said we can label the profits. Yes, we can label it to see the profit amount. Yes, we can label it. What else? There's something I'm expecting that nobody has mentioned. Just one thing. One thing. Anybody? Any other idea?
I think you can render it up to the zero.
No, it's not even about that. Yes, we can always format it. When we want to format it, we'll do all of that. Now, what I was expecting somebody to talk about is this. Last week, we talked about size. Size. This profit now, they are not the same. So I can say, okay, I want this profit to be based on size, and I just bring my profit to size. So that way, the organization knows that technology is the one leading. Office supplies is what is following technology, and furniture is the thinnest is the thinnest bar. So furniture is not really giving us lots of profit that way. So just as we can give it color, we can actually make the amount by sizes. So TABLEAU will automatically shrink the bars according to the profit amount, according to the sales amount, and so on and so forth. So we've done this. Let's say we take off this item names. Let's say we remove the show header. Now we can see that some of these items, we can see something like this supplies under office supplies is in minus. Is in minus. And somebody said we can introduce the profit in each country by adding it to the tooltip. Yes, we can only do that when we are doing map. We've not even gotten there yet. And if you come to furniture, we would see that our bookcases, they are more like minus 3,000. That's a deficit. So that way, even our bars is the healthy the bar, the better. The how thin the bar looks, you can see this one even is like minus 17,000 in profit. So this way, visualizations like this, it helps organization to make informed decisions about their products. So to round up today's class, we can then simply format it. Just come to our format. We say, okay, what do we want to format? We want to format, of course, our profit, our sum profit. We can say, okay, what's the font? We can change the font size, to, let's say, 10. We can make it bold if we want, but not necessary. We can always change it to the main black. Yes, Osareme, we can also introduce sales into the profit, into the tooltip as well to show the sales amount. I'll add that to it. Thank you very much. So we can go to the numbers to change it to in case. We will round it up to 0, and we say the display needs to be in case. And we say okay. Then once we close it, then we can introduce the sales into the detail, like Osariemen said. So we can see the sales amount and the profit amount, just as we introduce profit in sales the other time. And we can still come back to our format. You can format a lot of things in as much as you know what you want to format. The first thing you do when you want to format, you have to select the field you want to format. Please, let's take note of that. You have to select the field you want to format. For example, if I want to format my subcategory. Now, let me ask us, if I want to format the subcategory, it simply means I want to format the names of items on the subcategory. That's what it means. If I want to format the category, it means I want to format information on categories. So we would see that the font is changing to a darker shade of black, just as we have it here. I can decide to give it color. I can decide to do a lot of things. That is that about formatting. So we need to know how to format very well. As data analyst, it's very, very important. Formatting is very, very important. And when we want to remove all of these lines, we come to this button that shows lines. Once you click on it, we have to say, okay, yeah, we have to select none. We would see that some of the lines are disappearing one after the other. Some of the lines are disappearing one after the other. So we have to make sure that our visualization is not showing any lines. So if you come to this button that shows the line, you have to at times select the sheets, the rows, but majorly if you come into the rows, you will see the grid lines. Once you select the grid lines, once you say no, you would see a blank, more like a blank canvas. But because we have different categories, we will be leaving these 3 lines that separates each of those categories. And of course, these lines that separates the categories, we can come into TABLEAU to bold those lines. But we would have to look for those lines one after the other. So one after the other. So that's just how we can look for those lines and then format them. And the previous week, I told us that when we come into our tooltip, we can format our tooltip as well. We can format it. I'll just format one. The same way I format one is the same way we'll be formatting every other one, and you have to format them one after the other. So once you have to once you click, you have to highlight, you select whatever font color you want to select, and you can give it a color if you like. Let's say I say blue, and I can come back to my category to select the shade of black that I want. And if you want it bold, yes, why not? If you want to italic it just for demonstration sake. We italic it, we say okay. So if we move our cursor on any of these bars, you will see that category is showing black and the name of the category, which is the office supplies, is in color, and the category itself is in italic. So this is why most of the subcategory information that is below here, we don't really need them because everything is inside the tooltip. And we want to name our sheet as profit by category. Don't forget, highlight or double click on the sheet name below. Once you double click, then you say profit, you name it profit by category. Once you press enter, it would take effect just above here. And at the same time, you can double click on this header name and right click and highlight on the sheet name. Don't change it, just leave it like that. You can select the font color, the font size, and everything that you want. It's part of formatting. Once you select that, you can click apply and okay. And that way we have successfully changed the font size and the font color of the name of this particular visualization. So we'll be stopping here tonight as we are able to touch on the visualizations from the previous week, and we're able to enter into another visualization. So this way we have successfully visualized sales by category and profit by category. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for listening. Any question before we call it a night? Any question?
Um,
Any question, please? Okay, Okpeyemi, can you go ahead and talk? Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you. I don't have any question actually. I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, based off on the fact, how everything started, because quite a lot of people were upset and then they were not, because they were not following for whatever reason. But then it turned out that it became very informative and educative, so thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Any other person? Any other question?
Is there any assignment for next week?
Unfortunately, there won't be any assignment for next week because of those that are unable to follow. So those people that have issues with their installation and whatever problem they have, please and please reach out to Allow Me. Reach out to Allow Me as well. We would collate the list and we would probably meet for maybe a 30-40 minutes meeting, and we just settle all of these things so that we can all be on the same page for next class, because it will be very, very important for us to be on the same page for next class. So I will speak with Allow Me to that effect. So we would just work on that. So once we are all on the same page, it will be so easy to give assignments that everybody is following. So Yola, please go ahead.
Good evening once again. Thank you very much, Albert. So it's about the assignments.
Yeah.
On the website, so I actually saved the Tableau format and I tried to upload on the website, but I think because of the format, I couldn't upload. So
Okay.
I just sent a screenshot instead.
Yeah, if you want to upload, you should just take a screenshot of your page. Just take a screenshot,
Yeah,
like use your, what's the name of this thing? The
the
sniping tool.
snapshots.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can use the snipe tool to just cut out your visualization and upload it. I think
that was what I did
yeah,
actually.
that's
Thank you.
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
GS Oluwaseun Adesoya. Yeah, you missed the initial class, and after watching the video, you still can't find it. No problem. I actually covered from the previous class to another new thing, but it's fine. we would find a way around it. It's not such a big deal. So any other person before we call it a day?
I've got a general question.
If the question is not about this class, please, you can ask me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to save your visualization, after we might have finished all of this, just come to File. Now we can see Save to Tableau Public As. It's more like Save As. Save to Tableau Public As. Because this is my first visualization, I'll be doing Save to Tableau Public As. But if you have logged in already, for those that probably might have downloaded the previous week, you just do Control S, saving for their first time. Come to Save to Tableau Public As. Once you click on it, you would see it will say Book 1. But I'm not going to save mine as Book 1. I would say, I'll say BlueSky Citadel, February 2025. Okay, so that it's just fine for me like this. Then I'll say Save. So it will do it will publish it and it will prepare it, it will save it. Once it saves it, it will direct you to the cloud. It will go to the cloud straight up. Once it finished doing all of this, it will direct you it will take your default browser. It will go to the cloud straight. So, but you have to leave it to finish doing its processing. Okay, mine is unable to save. I'll just do it again. Save as. Save the tablet public as. Yes, the same name. Save. You see, it has actually saved, but because it didn't show what I wanted it to show, I will overwrite it. Say yes. And it will go ahead and save the way I wanted it to save. So that way, it has saved and it will come to the cloud like this. I don't know if you can see my Chrome. Please, can you see my Chrome? Can somebody respond if you can see
No, you are still on Tableau.
I'm still on Tableau.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is my Chrome. It will come out on your Chrome like this. Okay? It will come out under your Chrome like this. This is my account. It will come out under your Chrome, just like this. Then you can close it because you don't need it for anything. So once you do that, you are fine. You are good to go. You can now close your Tableau. Okay? So that's where we have successfully saved it. So whenever I want to work on it again, we'll pick it from the cloud and continue working on it. And once we finish, we just Control S it and it will update. So that's how we will be saving. Allow me, you have your hand raised.
Yes, and if you made an error, like maybe you didn't use save as, you used only save, and you went to the main public Tableau. If you want to delete it from published in public Tableau, how do you do it?
Yeah, the thing is, when you save to Tableau public, there is something called Viz. If you come under your profile, you would see Viz. You'll see Vizes. If it is plural, if you have more than one visualization, these are my Vizes now. This is the latest one that I uploaded. That BlueSky Citadel 2025. You would see something like an eye here, like the one I just uploaded now. 2 people have already viewed it. If I don't want anybody to see it, you will see this 3 ellipses. Then you hide it so that nobody will see it. If you hide it, nobody will see it. If you don't want anybody to see it, and if you want to delete, you can see delete here too. We can see delete here. So under the three ellipses, you can just select, click on it. If you click on it, you scroll down, you see delete. You can hide it if you don't want anybody to see your work. So these are my own visualizations. Everything is just there. So basically that's how you go about it, if that works.
Right, thank you. Can it be amended? That's another question.
Of course, yes, it can be amended. You can at the same time, if for example now, if I want to work on this particular one that I just uploaded, this one, this BlueSky Citadel, if I click on it, you would see the visualization just like this. But you see this button, this edit button. If I click on it, it will take me to TABLEAU Public online. This is online platform now, not on the software itself. So whatever I do on it, whatever I do, and I save it, it will save automatically online. This is for my Chrome now, not for my TABLEAU itself, because I've closed my TABLEAU. But once I click on edit, if I go back, once I open the particular visualization and I click on edit, I can edit it. I can do more visualization. I can style it so that is my favorite. I can share it with people. I can download it. I can nominate it if I want it to be nominated as a Viz of the day, because there's something called Viz on TABLEAU, but I'll still show us once we have progress. And you can do settings, you can do anything you want to do and stuff like that. You can, but you can edit it just as you are working, just like you are working in your TABLEAU itself, the TABLEAU software. But this version now, this is on my Chrome. It's just online. It's on cloud. It's on cloud. So once you click edit, you can start working. You can work on it. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Albert. Thank you for your time, and I hope we learned a lot. And of course, the first person that commented, not really question, of course, already told me that at least a lot of people are following on. So we just decided to change the style to be a bit slower, so that people that probably didn't catch on last week and those that probably newly joined also can get what it is. Now, the truth is, to an extent, most of you won't have, gotten it so much. A repeat of the video is what you just need, right? If you watch the video one more time or twice, it's gonna help you. So from time to time, even after the internship, you can just be watching these videos to help you grow. If I were you, even download and save some so that you can watch them from time to time. Thank you so much, Albert. And I was saying earlier before, the thought of showing how to save. I was also following, because on this thing, no knowledge is lost. I've been saving, but I was just giving an example of the very first time I was told to save to cloud, and I did not use save as. So it published like to the whole universe. I was a bit shy, but it doesn't really matter because I did the visualization. Okay, so I was good. So it's okay. Just try your hands on it. So you can, if you don't try your hands on it and think what you've watched today, I know it, I'll click it. You're joking. Please make sure you try your hands on it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Albert. So it's 11 and I'm very happy to dismiss us now. However, because of what I promised at the start, just to give an update again on what I said, because a lot of people have joined at this time. So just to give an update on what I mentioned, I could do that. And then for the videos, I want to believe everybody can now access the video. But let's end the recording and I'll just show you this. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, I'm stopping the